Early childhood caries, or ECC as it is most commonly known, is a public health problem that continues to affect babies and preschool children worldwide. The prevalence of ECC varies from population to population. Disadvantaged children, regardless of race, ethnicity, or culture, are most vulnerable. ECC is a virulent form of caries beginning soon after eruption, developing on smooth surfaces, progressing rapidly, and having a lasting detrimental impact on the dentition. Children experiencing caries as infants or toddlers have a much greater probability of subsequent caries in both primary as well as the permanent dentitions. Not only does ECC affect teeth, but the consequences of this disease may lead to more widespread health issues. It has been found that infants with ECC grow at a slower pace than caries-free infants, probably because these children are kept devoid of important nutrients because of their inability to eat or probably because of the pain associated with it. Some young children with ECC may be severely underweight because of the associated pain and the disinclination to eat. The severity of this early childhood caries is associated with poor feeding habits. But because the poor feeding practices alone will not cause caries, the previously used terms such as the baby bottle tooth decay, the bottle mouth, and the nursing decay are quite misleading. Now, ECC is a term that better reflects the multifactorial etiologic process. So there are a lot of factors which supports this term early childhood caries. Number one, it has been found that sleeping with a bottle of milk or other sweetened beverages does not always cause caries. Only a small proportion of children who take bottle of milk to bed is having caries. In countries such as China, Thailand and Tanzania, where nursing bottles and feeding with a nursing bottle is rare, infants may still experience ECC. And in US, children who are 4 and 5 years old, an age by which the bottle use ordinarily has been discontinued, have been noted to develop caries in the maxillary anterior teeth. So what defines this ECC? The American Academy of Pediatric Dentistry defines ECC as the presence of one or more decayed, missing, or filled tooth surfaces in any primary tooth in a preschool age child between birth and 71 months of age. It has been said that children who are younger than 3 years of age, if they show any sign of surface caries, then that indicates severe early childhood caries, that is SECC. Also, children who are between 3 to 5 years of age, if they have one or more cavitated, missing or filled smooth surfaces in the primary maxillary anterior teeth, then it comprises of a severe form of ECC. There is another definition of ECC which says that it is the occurrence of any sign of dental caries on any tooth surface during the first 3 years of life. Davis in 1998 has defined ECC as a complex disease involving maxillary primary incisors within a month after eruption and spreads rapidly to involve other primary teeth. Winter et al. In 1966 has defined nursing caries as a unique pattern of dental decay in young children due to prolonged nursing habit. Kroll et al. In 1967 has defined nursing bottle mouth as a syndrome that is characterized by a severe caries pattern beginning with the maxillary anterior teeth in a healthy bottle-fed infant or toddler. Shelton in 1977 has defined nursing bottle syndrome as a devastating condition that may render young children dentally crippled. Delay et al. In 1980 defined nursing bottle syndrome as a unique pattern of dental caries in young children. Kroll in 1984 defined baby bottle mouth as a very destructive caries process which can affect infants and toddlers. Sam Suarez in 1986 defined nursing bottle caries as that caries caused by a prolonged use of a bottle filled with any liquid other than water. Mim Kelly et al. In 1987 defined baby bottle tooth decay as a caries caused by bottle feeding, not only by breastfeeding. And then Ripa in 1988 defined milk bottle syndrome as a specific form of rampant decay of the primary teeth of infants. Moss in 1996 came up with another terminology called as the tooth cleaning neglect. So the baby bottle decay is renamed to shift the emphasis away from the bottle to the need for cleaning. And Horowitz in 1998 came up with another terminology which is called as rampant infant and early childhood dental decay. So why did I put in so many definitions? It is for the student to understand that how over the years the definition of nursing caries then went on to baby bottle, then went on to rampant, and then came on to early childhood caries. So it comprises a lot of these etiologic factors. So as you can see in the slide, there are so many names for this caries, which includes baby bottle caries, nursing mouth decay, bottle propping caries, labial caries, comforter caries, infancy caries, soother caries, or maybe say even circular caries. But now, this early childhood caries is more commonly referred as MDSMD, which refers as maternally derived Streptococcus mutans disease. Coming to the classification of early childhood caries, you have three major types: type 1, type 2, and type 3. The type 1 has the clinical features from mild to moderate. There is existence of isolated carious lesions involving molars and incisors. The number of carious teeth increase as the cariogenic challenge persists. The cause is usually a combination of cariogenic semi-solid food and a lack of oral hygiene, and it is usually seen in 2 to 5-year-old children. The type 2 is moderate to severe type of ECC, where there are labiolingual carious lesions affecting the maxillary incisors. Manular incisors are not affected. Use of feeding bottle or at will breastfeeding or a combination of both with or without poor oral hygiene is seen, and it is seen soon after the eruption of teeth. The type 3 is a severe form where the carious lesions affects all the teeth including the lower incisors. The cause is cariogenic food and a poor oral hygiene, and the condition is quite rampant. There are different stages of ECC. Directly the child does not have severe form of caries. It goes on from one stage to the other, and there are 4 stages of ECC. So stage 1 is called as the initial reversible stage, and this is from 10 to 18 months, where there are cervical and occasional interproximal areas of chalky white demineralization. There is no pain associated. Stage 2 is the damaged carious stage, which is from 18 to 24 months, and there are lesions in the maxillary anterior teeth which may spread to dentine and show yellowish brown discoloration, and the child could have pain on having cold food items. The stage 3 is that of the deep lesions, which is from 24 to 36 months, and it depends upon the time of eruption, the karyogenicity of the sweetener, and the frequency of its use. This stage can be reached within the first 10 or 14 months itself. Here, the molars are also affected. There is frequent complaint of pain, and there is pulpal involvement of maxillary incisors. The last stage, that is stage 4, is called as the traumatic stage, which is from 36 to 48 months, where the teeth become so weakened by caries that relatively small forces can fracture them. Parents may report a history of trauma. molars are now associated with pulpal problems, and the maxillary incisors become non-vital. So these are the 4 stages of ECC. Stage 1, initial reversible stage. Stage 2, damaged carrier stage. Stage 3, deep lesions. And stage 4, traumatic stage. One terminology which is very important to understand over here is rampant caries. We all know the famous definition given by Maslach in the year 1945, which says that rampant caries is a suddenly appearing, widespread, rapidly spreading, burrowing type of caries, resulting in early involvement of the pulp and affecting those teeth which are usually regarded as immune to decay.